Hello, you are welcome again to another tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how you can create this minimalistic modern stylized logo reveal. To follow up on this tutorial, you can check the link below to download the project file and the logo. All the assets I've used in this tutorial, you'll find it in the link below. So let's get started. Click on the new composition icon right here to create a new composition. So I'm going to name this to logo reveal. I'm going to set the frame width to 1920 and the height to 1080. That is HD. So I'm going to set this to 30 frames per second, and I'm going to leave the composition duration to 10 seconds. The color here, I will set it to anything because that does not matter. Then hit OK. So the next thing we're going to do now is to create a solid layer. Right click on your timeline, go to new, and then select the solid. We're going to name this BG for background. Then select make comp size and then hit OK. So go to effects and preset and then search for gradient ramp. Select, drag it to your solid layer. We are going to make some changes to the gradient ramp properties right here. So I'm gonna set this white to somewhat dark color is okay. Then the black here, I'm going to set it to a bit lighter. Hit OK. I'm going to change the ramp shape to radial ramp from linear, and then move these controls to this spot right here. Next, we are going to add our logo or a text. In this case, I'll add a logo. If you already have the project file, you should find this logo right there. Select and drag it to your timeline. This will automatically add the logo for you. So hit S on your keyboard to scale this down. Scale it down to somewhere around there. So right click on this logo and then pre-compose it. Select move all attribute to the new composition. We are going to rename this to logo holder. Then hit OK. Next, let's add some style to our logo. On the effect and preset window, search for ramp and then apply it to the logo holder composition. Move the start color position and the end color position points to somewhere around here. So now let's change colors right here. Select a darker purple just to give some depth and to give some style to the logo. Hit OK. So the next thing we're going to add to the logo to create more style is emboss. So type in emboss on the effect and preset window. Select the color emboss and apply it to the logo composition again. We are going to make some tweaking to the embossed option right here so that we're going to give some style to the logo. The relief, set it to 8. The contrast, you can leave it at 100. If you want to make some dynamics to it, you can move this direction to whatever area you think you like the most. So let's make this rotation 0 by 90. Now we need to make our logo holder composition a 3D layer. Select the toggle switch right here below your timeline to bring up the 3D option. So make the composition a 3D layer. Now we are going to animate the Z position, rotation and scale. But first, let's do the Z position. Hit P on your keyboard to bring up the position properties. Then move your time indicator to about 2 seconds forward in time and set a keyframe for the positioning. Set the position right here to -800 and then move your time indicator back to frame 0. Set the Z position to -2200. Then hold down the shift on your keyboard and hit S. That will bring up the scale property without taking away the position properties. Move your time indicator to about 2 seconds forward in time right here and then set a keyframe for the scale. Then move your time indicator forward in time to about this point and set the scale to about 80. Now let's set a keyframe for the rotation. Hold down shift button to hit R on your keyboard to bring up the rotation property. Add a keyframe to Y rotation. Then move your time indicator to about 0 seconds and rotate the Y position to 0 by 45. Select all the keyframe, right click on it and go to keyframe assistance and then ease all the keyframes. This will give it an organic flow. Now select the last keyframe on the Z position, then switch your timeline to the graph editor. Make sure your curves look like this. If they doesn't look like this, right click on your timeline and make sure edit speed graph is active. In my own case it is. So select the keyframe right here and move the handle inward. This will give some style to the animation. It will make the animation move in fast and then slow down before it hit the final position. So do the same thing to the scale keyframe, the last one right here. Switch to graph editor and also move it inward slightly like this. So, and this is what you have. Next, we are going to add some mask and then animate the part position. So to do that, on the toolbar right here, right below your standard menu and above your preview window, select the rectangle tool here and select the ellipse tool. Draw a mask like this on the logo. Move it just to cut out some part of the mask. Then hit F on your keyboard to bring the feather option. So we're gonna feather this mask. Set the feather value to 220. Hit UU on your keyboard to reveal more properties, the part properties for the mask. Currently this is what we have. Move your time indicator to 2 seconds forward in time and set a keyframe for the mask part. Then move the mask till you can see the logo completely. Then move your time indicator to about 0 and then move the mask out until you can no longer see the logo. Move your time indicator to about 3 seconds and create a keyframe. Then move it to 4 seconds and move the part out until you can no longer see the logo. If you play this now, this is what you have. I'm going to slow the disappearing of the logo a bit further. So I will move the mask, the last keyframe for the mask, to about 5 seconds. I want it to slowly disappear from the preview window. Excellent. All right, now we're going to add an explosion asset. So hit U on your keyboard to hide the properties. Switch back to the project manager window right there. If you have the project files, then navigate to asset folder. Then you will see the shockwave video. Drag and bring it into your project manager window. Add it to your timeline right below the logo composition. Then We are going to adjust this so that it will sync with our logo movement right when you have the logo hitting back. That is where we set the explosion to happen, somewhere around there. Toggle this back to the other modes, then set the mode to screen, and then we are going to add some colors to the explosion so that it will look exactly like our logo. You can change this color at any time when you do this. So come to Effect and Preset window and search for Hue and Saturation. Drag and add it to your explosion video. Then we are going to make some changes right here to the option for the hue and saturation. First of all, select, make sure you check this colorize. Let's set the colorize saturation to 80. We're going to move the color hue until we have a color similar to our logo, somewhere right there. I'm going to scale this explosion effect down a bit, so I'll hit S on my keyboard and scale it to about 80. Then I'm also going to add some style to it. I'll max out some parts so that it will look beautiful, as if the dust is exploding to one side alone. So I'll still come back to pick the ellipse tool and then mask some part like this. This is about okay. Hit F on your keyboard to bring the feather property. I will feather this to about 200. So now if you play this, this is what you have. If you look at it right now, the logo disappears while the dust is still there. So we're going to adjust the keyframe for the mask part on the logo holder so that it will disappear almost about the same time with the dust disappearing. So hit U on your keyboard to bring up the keyframes. Move the last keyframe for the mask part to about this point to 6 seconds forward in time. I'm still going to make some adjustment to the explosion. I will select the explosion layer, hit T on the keyboard to bring up the opacity level. So I'm going to set some keyframe to the opacity so that it will disappear about the same time. Currently the way it is, I don't like the way it takes time to fade out. So from here, I will set a keyframe to the opacity and then move forward in time and set the opacity to 0. This should give it a better transition. With this type of setup, at any time you can go into the logo holder composition, either change your logo or you add a simple text. Let's try that out and see. Just double click on the logo holder composition. So right click right here to add some text. Align this to center and then hide the previous logo. Let's go back to the main logo reveal composition to see. You see there we have it. So at any time you can change the logo or change the text and you still have the same animation. So that is it, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. That will help the algorithm suggest this video to more people. If this kind of video is something you are interested in, consider subscribing to my channel as I bring to you tutorials like this every week. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you again in the next one. Remember, you are only limited by your imagination. My name is SSB Otaru for Motion Digit Studios.